Hello, Happy New Year. I'm wearing a shirt to celebrate it. See? I really like my shirt. This video is for me to kind of just look back in a couple years and just remember what I did each semester in college. But if you're interested in what I did, what classes I took this semester, keep watching. Okay, I go to university. This is my first semester, sophomore year. I'm not going to say which university, because don't stalk me. That's not a threat, it's kind of just a request. This semester I took 6 classes, so that was really fun. Kind of stressful. But I'm going to start off with my first class. It was CTVA 260. This class is my 3rd film class, because this is my 3rd semester. It was Introduction to Digital Filmmaking. Oh my gosh, it was Introduction to Digital Filmmaking. And it was really cool. The class was pretty small, about 20 to 30 kids. It was on Zoom, obviously. And I had to get 3 books for it. This one is Strike the Baby and Kill the Blonde. That might be a little weird to you. It's Insider's Guide to Film Slang. So I read this book kind of on my own, not exactly, because it's kind of like a glossary or like a dictionary, just filled with film terms. And every time I kind of heard a film term, I would then look it up. So it's a really good book if you just want it, just if you want to know like what people in the film industry use and what they say and what they kind of, you know, talk about. The next one was The Basics of Filmmaking by Blaine Brown. And what was really interesting is that my professor actually knows Blaine Brown, so he came in a couple times. Well, actually not my professor exactly, but another professor who was teaching the same class who actually read this book contacted Blaine Brown, and he came in a couple times to talk about it. He's a cinematographer and all of the above. He's a really cool guy. Met him twice because we had 2 Zoom meetings with him and he was there. It was really fun. I started skimming this book on my own. My actual class, we didn't read this book. We read a 3rd book. We didn't really follow the syllabus that much. It was a really fun class, so I think I learned a lot. My professor kind of went on tangents a little bit, but I mean, like, who doesn't? I always do. And he gave just some solid advice, not just in film, but kind of just career advice and just like life advice, which was really cool. And we'd always get into interesting and different topics and discussions. That class I actually had in Zoom classes, so like a set time, twice a week. That was really fun. Had that class from 8 a.m. I had an 8 a.m. 8 a.m. to like 10:45, but kind of more like 11, but I showed up at 7:50. It's always fun to come early to class, especially on Zoom calls, because you can ask the professor questions. I got a A- in that class. I got an A- in that class. It was fun. Okay, so the next class I took was Art 250. This is actually the first class to take for photography minor, like a photo/video minor at my school. So it was really interesting. I got to learn about camera. It was a black and white film class. So I had to get a camera. It was really expensive. But I think this is around $200. This is a Nikon 2000, if you want to know. It's in pretty good condition. Obviously these cameras aren't new. These are pretty old. It's a black and white film. Well, that's the class that I had. So I used this type of film. I'll show some photos from my photography class now. Ooh, wow, sick. Wow. I'm not the best at photography, I mean, obviously, but I really like it. I think one of the most important skills I kind of learned with this class and kind of just from my own photography journey is you're not really, like, after you once learn the basics like aperture and shutter speed, ISO, I just forgot everything. You're kind of more so not really training, like with skills and stuff. I think you're more so training yourself, like training your eye, not really training how to use the camera. I think you're more so training like what to take a photo of. And also it was a really interesting concept of learning to create your own photos instead of just taking photos. I think that was very interesting. I really learned that I really like narrative photography. Dwayne Michaels is one of my biggest inspirations when it comes to photography, even though I don't particularly do a lot of series photographs. I have a photography account, go follow it, basically what I'm saying. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make some videos about photography. for that class, I didn't have a book or anything. It was kind of just my teacher had a blog, and we did the assignments off that. I got an A in that class. The other class I took was Bio 100. This was a really fun class. It was a lot of work. So if you go to my school, it was a lot of work, a lot of kind of busy work, I would kind of say. But I did learn a lot. The book was actually written by my professor, which was really cool, so I didn't have to pay for a book. It wasn't any physical book. It was just like an online website, so that was pretty cool. And it was only a 2-unit class, so but it was a lot. It was like 6 hours a week. I just took extensive notes. It was pretty hard for me because I'm kind of a science person, but I'm not a biology person necessarily. I know it's weird for me to say I'm a science person even though I'm majoring in screenwriting. I just like math and science kind of more. I never really was a huge fan of English, but I know I'm in screenwriting. But it was kind of cool, but it's a lot of vocabulary, which, God, sucks because I'm bad at memorizing anything. But that class was a lot of fun. The office hours were pretty flexible. I was like the only one in office hours. This was like a 200-person class. But the class was very interesting because I did know most of it from like middle school and kind of my first biology class in high school. It's kind of just like relearning everything, but obviously going more in detail than like high school and middle school. So that was really interesting. I got an A-. I don't know why I did that. I got an A- in that class. And then I also took the lab as well. That's like my kind of 6th class, kind of like 5th class, just 1 unit. For every week we went to this thing called Labster. The assignments were pretty cool. It took me about 45 minutes. Then you gotta like write a little discussion thing and then take a quiz. That was pretty easy. Yeah. Bio was pretty fun. I mean, just a GE for me, but yeah, A-. I took a linguistics class called Forbidden Language. That was very interesting. It was honestly about curse words, and that was very cool. We read this book, and I did indeed get a physical copy of it. The actual class, we had to read this book and then sometimes read other articles. Those articles, some of them were pretty dense, and then some of them were like on websites. Like the ones like on Scholar, like type of stuff, pretty dense and kind of just blah sometimes. You know, I'm not a linguist, but I'm fascinated by language. The class was pretty chill. It was not a class where I had to meet up on Zoom. He just posted the lectures, and every Sunday all my homework was due, sadly. Then I had like discussions to do and sometimes a quiz here and there. I got a B+ in that class. The last class I took was Religious Studies 256. Oh, the class was about religion and how it is in like American politics, kind of. Interesting, kind of compare and contrast what happened in the past with what's happening currently. That was very, very interesting. That was my favorite part. And I learned a lot. It was a lot of dates, kind of, but I had notes, so it was fine. But a B+, I mean, like, it's pretty good. I just hope that I grow each semester. If you watch my last, I have 2 other videos of this explaining like what I did my freshman year, and I really recommend these type of binders, or these type of spirals with like 5 subject, college ruled. I think it really helps, keeps everything organized, so you get like a section per class, and I think that really helps instead of just having like one big notebook. I think it really helped me stay focused. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, expect another one after next semester. Bye!